श्री महाभारत कथा। श्री महाभारत कथा। महाभारत कथा। कथा है पुरुषार्थ की, ये स्वार्थ की, परमार्थ की, सारथी जिसके बने श्री कृष्ण भारत पाथ की। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ जब सत्य सार्थक सर्व था। शब्द दिग्घोषित हुआ। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत, अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य, तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्, परित्राणाय साधूनां, विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां, धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे।
The gods said, "Thou art a rishi, i.e. one cognizant of all mantras, share of the largest portion in sacrifices, ever resplendent." The controller along with the rishi wended their way towards Garuda and adored him of birds, the presiding spirit of the animate and the animate universe. Thou art the destroyer of all, the creator of all. Thou art the very Hiranyagarbha. Thou art the progenitor of creation in the form of Daksha and the other Prajapatis. Thou art Indra, the king of the gods. Thou art Hayagriva, the steed-necked incarnation of Vishnu. Thou art knowledge. Thou art the illusion to which we are all subject. Thou art the all-pervading spirit. Thou art the Lord, the gods. Thou art the great truth. Thou art fearless. Thou art ever unchanged. Thou art pure knowledge. Thou displayest to us, as Surya does by his rays, this animate and inanimate universe. Thou darkenest the splendor of Surya at every moment, and thou art the destroyer of all. Thou art all that is perishable, and all that is imperishable. O mighty Garuda, who movest in the skies, we seek thy protection. O Lord of birds, thy energy is extraordinary. Thy splendor is that of fire. Thy brightness is like that of the lightning that no darkness can approach. Protect these high-souled gods, who, overcome by thee and terrified withal, are flying along the heavens in different directions on their celestial cars. Oh, diminish this thy body resembling Agni, at the sight of the splendor resembling that of Yama, when in wrath our hearts lose all equanimity and quake. Oh, pacify thy anger and preserve us. At thy voice, loud as the roar of the thunder, the 10 points, the skies, the heavens, the earth, and our hearts, O bird, thou art continuously shaking. And that bird of fair feathers, thus adored by the deities and diverse sections of rishis, reduced his own energy and splendor. Then hearing of and beholding his own body, that bird of beautiful feathers diminished its size. Then that bird capable of going everywhere at will, that ranger of the skies capable of calling to his aid any measure of energy, bearing a runa on his back, wended from his father's home and arrived at his mother's side on the other shore of the great ocean. And he placed a runa of great splendor in the eastern regions, just at a time when Surya had resolved to burn the worlds with his fierce rays. What wrong was done to him by the gods that provoked his ire? And before the very eyes of the denizens of heaven, I am going to be devoured, and they brook it quietly. Therefore, for the destruction of the worlds must I strive. When Rahu was drinking nectar among the gods at the time of the churning of the ocean, he was pointed out to the gods by Surya and Soma. and from that time he conceived an enmity towards those deities. And then the great rishis, approaching the gods, spake unto them, Lo, in the middle of the night springeth a great heat, striking terror into every heart, and destructive of the three worlds. Then the gods, accompanied by the rishis, wended to the grandsire, and said unto him, O what is this great heat today that causeth such panic? Surya hath not yet risen, still the destruction of the world is obvious. O Lord, what will happen when he doth rise? The grandsire replied, Indeed, Surya is prepared to rise today for the destruction of the world. As soon as he will appear, he will burn everything into a heap of ashes. By me, however, hath the remedy been provided beforehand. The intelligent son of Kasyapa is known to all by the name of Aruna. He is huge of body and of great splendor. He shall stay in front of Surya, doing the duty of his charioteer, and taking away all the energy of the former. The intelligent son of Kasyapa is known to all by the name of Aruna. He is huge of body and of great splendor. He shall stay in front of Surya, doing the duty of his charioteer, and taking away all the energy of the former. And this will ensure the welfare of the worlds, of the rishis, and of the dwellers in heaven. Thither lived Vinata in affliction, defeated in wager, and put into a state of slavery. Once Kadru, calling Vinata, who had prostrated herself before the former, addressed her these words in the presence of her son. And Garuda also, directed by his mother's words, carried on his back the snakes. And that ranger of the skies born of Vinata began to ascend towards the sun. And thereupon the snakes, scorched by the rays of the sun, swooned away. And Kadru, seeing her sons in that state, prayed to Indra, saying, I bow to thee, thou lord of all the gods. I bow to thee, thou slayer of Vritra. I bow to thee, thou slayer of Namuchi. O thou of 1,000 eyes, consort of Sachi, by thy showers, be thou the protector of the snakes scorched by the sun. O thou best of the deities, thou art our great protector. O Purandara, thou art able to grant rain in torrents. And Kadru, seeing her sons in that state, prayed to Indra, saying, I bow to thee, thou lord of all the gods. I bow to thee, thou slayer of Vritra. I bow to thee, thou slayer of Namuchi. O thou of 1,000 eyes, consort of Sachi, by thy showers, be thou the protector of the snakes scorched by thee. Sun, Dedawa, thou art the creator of the worlds, and their destroyer. Thou art unconquered. Thou art the light of all creatures, Aditya, Vibhavasu, and the wonderful elements. Thou art the year, the seasons, the months, the nights, and the days. Thou art the fair earth with her mountains and forests. Thou art also the firmament, resplendent with the sun. Thou art the great ocean with heaving billows and abounding with whales, swallowers of whales, and makaras, and various fishes. And then Indra, the king of gods, having the best of horses for his bearer, thus adored by Kadru, covered the entire firmament with masses of blue clouds. And he commanded the clouds, saying, Pour ye your vivifying and blessed drops. And the sky, in consequence of those wonderful and terribly roaring clouds that were incessantly begetting vast quantities of water, looked as if the end of Yuga had come. The sky became overcast, and the rays of the sun and the moon totally disappeared in consequence of that incessant downpour. And borne by that bird of fair feathers, they soon arrived at the island. That island had been fixed by the creator of the universe as the abode of the Makaras. And there were clusters of trees all around laden with various fruits and flowers. And then the Nagas, drenched by that shower, became exceedingly glad. And borne by that bird of fair feathers, they soon arrived at the island. And there they saw the terrible Lavana Samudra, ocean of salt. On arriving there with Garuda, they saw there a beautiful forest washed by the waters of the sea, and resounding with the music of winged choirs. And there were also fair mansions all around, and many tanks full of lotuses. And it was also adorned with many lakes of pure water. And that forest was charming, and dear to the Gandharvas, and always gave them pleasure. And it was full of bees, maddened with the honey they sucked. And the snakes, after arriving at that forest, began to enjoy themselves. And they commanded the Lord of Birds, viz., Garuda, of great energy, saying, "Convey us to some other fair island with pure water. Thou Ranger of the Skies, thou must have seen many fair regions while coursing through the air." Garuda, after reflecting for a few moments, asked his mother Vinata, saying, "Why, mother, have I to do the bidding of the snakes?" Vinata said, "O thou best of birds, I have become, from misfortune, the slave of my co-wife. The snakes, by an act of deception, caused me to lose my bet, and have made me so." Nay. When his mother had told him the reason, that Ranger of the Skies, dejected with grief, addressed the snakes, saying, "Tell me, ye snakes, by bringing what thing, gaining a knowledge of what thing, or doing what act of prowess, we may be freed from this state of bondage to you?" "Yeah, Kinal, Kal." The snakes, hearing him, said, "Bring thou Amrita by force." Ni, Ahini, Kamiho Antu. Has. Then, O bird, shall you be freed from bondage. And so ends the 27th section in the Astika Parva of the Adi Parva. But let not thy heart be ever set on taking the life of a Brahmana. Of all creatures a Brahmana must not be slain.
भारत की है कहानी सदियों से भी पुरानी है ज्ञान की ये गंगा ऋषि